Hello, I wanted to do one last thing about something critical I've discovered in myself. It has to do with not just manifesting, but creating in general. And this is something that I've discovered and that I wanted to share just in case it's relevant to anyone else. When we hit the tripwire of beginning to remember that we're something other than the game or the role that we're playing in third dimension, we become very focused on remembering. I myself became very focused. I started greedily reading through absolutely every written material, any webinar, any workshop, any group meditation I could do to activate more memory within. It's not like I read extensively outside of my own understanding because I didn't want to take on somebody else's truth. I wanted to remember my own. But often I'd read just enough to have it trigger something, and then a memory code would come up, and there'd be like, oh, well, in that focus, in that upward movement of remembering who am I, coming from nothingness up through my light channel, up to my source, and then having my source become who I become aware of, I wasn't manifesting or creating anything because I was in an upflow process. I went up to source. I am now learning that the only way I can manifest, create from source is to bring it back down as I've described in my de-ascension and become what I call grounded, but not grounded in the sense I've run roots down and I'm swaying like a tree in the earth, in the gentle breeze, the currents of earth that move the emotional nature, the watery nature. No, I mean as in I have grounded my soul into my source, into my physical body, into the earth planes, so that I can now begin to create from my source, the being that I am, rather than what I think I am. And it's a critical difference. When you create from your mind, you only create the finite things that you know. I gotta stop doing those stupid. It was shown to me this morning that if you use your finite mind, you can only create what you know, and you will it into creation. And that's like kind of running a gas with no oil. You can get to a certain point, but eventually you run out of energy. What you need to do is you need to open up to source, bring source down into your physical form, carrying a code or instruction or template, and then anchor into earth, and then step into that and allow it to be. Very different way of creation. I have noticed since the turmoil at work that I have been a lot more focused on being present rather than chasing the dream of who am I? What am I? What am I here to do? I have gone through papers that haven't been dealt with. I'm clearing through just undealt with stuff while I was distracted in my remembering who I am. Now, I'm not saying I've fully remembered. I'm just saying that I've remembered enough to be fully present in what I'm doing. So I've been taking care of business. I've been anchoring new codes into my daily activities. I've been creating new templates to step into. I've been creating new timelines, whatever you want to call them. I've been creating opportunities for myself to begin to live in a different way. Nothing has changed externally. The external mirror is still the same. There's still people I know from work, people in my life, people that I have in my memories, there's family. None of that has changed. What has changed is my interaction with them. So instead of being the victim and constantly having victim scenarios pan out until he got my attention to see what I'm doing, now I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about anyone else. You guys are all on your own. You're all on your own. I'm focusing on me and my own private Idaho and what I want to experience on a day-to-day basis. I'm not going to worry about how it affects anyone around me anymore. I'm not going to worry about whether or not feelings get hurt. You know what? C'est la vie. I'm going to create what I want to experience on a daily basis with each thought, within each moment and each breath that I take. And I'm going to call in from my source into my physical skin, because that is where all my codes and templates come from. I don't need an external source. I don't need to chase more meditations, more books, more movies, more. Those are very wonderful now for reminding me that I'm on the right path. It's like little deja vu moments. Somebody else will say something and I'm like, perfect. That's what I was struggling for. That's what I was looking for. That was the final piece to the little puzzle that now I can go, done with that picture. Moving forward, moving onward, moving backward. There's so much. The true nature of the spiral really begins to reveal itself when you realize that you finish something, you spiral around and you come back, and then again, maybe there's more. Spiral around. Time doesn't have any hold. What does is that node point, just like in astronomy, that you get back, you trigger it, are you done? You get back, you trigger it, are you done? Everything has a process code. So when you upgrade yourself from levels that you didn't have access to a lot of new information, then you get to choose how best you want to use that information. If you still run the same broken codes that you had before, it's like having a brand new cell phone and you still don't know how to use it. So the important shift for me has been to understand that I do not create from the ground up. I don't. That's where the impulses come. That's where hey, I would really like to clear this pattern. Up I go to source. Oh, I'm obviously being a cosmic twin right now. Up I go. For simplicity, I'll keep it straight. Up to source I go. Explore everything and then bring it back down into this physical arena, into this third dimension. You can't create fifth dimensionally anywhere else except third dimensionally. You can exist in fifth dimension, but that's fine. Then you're split. You're in the split worlds. You know, you're at work, 3-dimensional, or at the supermarket, 3-dimensional. If you're fifth dimensional at either of those places, you're ungrounded and you're not present. And so the only way to be fully present is to be fifth dimensional, expressing oneself in a third dimensional arena from a fifth dimensional beyond level of awareness and creational abilities. So instead of reacting to your environment, you create it.